Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over using the custom formatting function within Excel. This is going to be kind of a high-level overview of this and just some of the functionality. There's a lot more to this, but we'll go ahead and show you a few of the key things here so you can custom format all your cells within an Excel worksheet. So first off, the first thing we're going to do here, I'm going to show you how to add a symbol and kind of just explain the basic layout of the custom format. So if you're not familiar with this, you can click the little arrow here, click number, and then custom down here. And then where it says type, you can enter kind of what you would like there. Another way to get this open is if you hit Control+1 on the keyboard, it'll just open up this menu, go to custom. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just kind of explain generally how this works. So it takes three arguments really. The first one is gonna be the positive number. So when the number is positive, and then you would do a semicolon, and then the formatting for a negative number, semicolon, and then when the value is 0. So it can take three arguments, and that's how you denote it, is with the semicolon to split between each of the three. So the first thing we're going to show you here is just how to add a symbol before or after. So it's really as simple as just doing a $sign, if that's what you want. And then from there, you can go ahead and hit number, and then that will bring over all the numbers you have, and then you could do a semicolon. And then if you want it to be a negative $sign, you could type the negative symbol, $sign, number, and then for a 0, if you want it to be a symbol of some sort, if you want it to be a dash, you just type a dash there. Then go ahead and hit OK, and now you can see changed those, added the $sign, negative sign, and a 0. And then just to kind of quickly show you here, if you don't put anything, it will just kind of default. So if we get rid of the dash, it'll just be blank. So you got to put something in there if you want it to format it. So it's that simple. The number just tells it you want it to return the number as it is, just kind of whatever's actually in the cell. That's why you have to add that. So the next one we're going to show you is how to add a comma. Very similar. What we'll do here, you'll go ahead, you'll do number, comma, number. So you'll see, and it shows you what the cell will look like up here. So if you just do number, comma, it's actually going to rearrange it to be in thousands. And if you were to do a second comma, it would be millions. But if you do a comma and then you put another number symbol after it, then it'll just add commas to your formula here. And then we'll go ahead and do a semicolon. And then if we want it to be negative, so negative, pound, hash, number symbol, comma, number symbol, and we'll do semicolon, and then we'll do the dash again for 0. And then go ahead and hit OK, and that will add commas. Next, I'm going to show you how to add decimal places. This is pretty simple as well. So let's first just do the number, and then you'll just actually do period, and then you can do number sign again. And that will show one decimal place. If you do two of them, it would show 2, assuming there was 2 decimals to show. And then the same thing here, we'll do negative symbol, $sign, period, $sign, and then for the 0, we'll just do a dash. And then go ahead and hit enter. And you'll see now it's showing 1 decimal place. If you wanted to show 2 decimal places, even if there was only 1 decimal place there, instead of doing the number sign here, you can actually do zeros. And if we do that, and then go ahead and hit OK, it'll actually force a second decimal place there for us. And we'll get more into that in a few lines down here of why that is. So now I'm going to show you how to add text, and actually for this, I'm just going to shorten these a bit. So this is good if you are working with like a multiple or something, or if you're doing years or something and you want it to say like 2018 projected, 2019 projected, or if you're doing like an EBITDA multiple and you want it to be 10x. But you want the cell to actually still be a number, so you could still do a calculation off of it. So what you'll do here, go back into this, go to custom, and we'll actually just do number, and then you'll do quote, whatever verbiage you want, and then close quote, and then go ahead and do a semicolon. Same thing, we'll do negative number if it was a negative, and then semicolon, and then a dash. And then that will add that. And like I said, so this is still valued at 10, so you could actually still do a formula off of it. So let's see here. So like if we did equals 10 times this cell, it'll work. But if, say here we actually type 10x into a cell, and then if we tried to do 10 times 10x, it's going to give us a value error. So it allows you to format it to look a certain way, but still use it in a calculation. Next, we're going to show you how to format in millions. So we briefly touched on this earlier, but what you'll do here, go ahead and do a number, and then you'll do a comma with nothing after it. And that first one will take away 3 of the zeros, and the next one will take off the next 3. So that's now formatted in millions. If you wanted to add decimal points, you could do like 0.0 or point number to give it a decimal point if it had one, something of that nature. Now your file would be formatted in millions. So let's go ahead and then we'll do that the same for the negatives. So just 2 commas after, and then that, and then now it's formatted in millions. Now we'll go ahead and format in thousands. This is the exact same thing, but you're just going to actually just do 1 comma, and if you wanted it to have an actual comma here, so like 1 comma 1000, like, and then comma 3 zeros, you'll actually do another number symbol, and you'll see here real quick it jumps back up to this format, and then you'll actually just hit comma again, and that'll truncate the end there, and then you'll do semicolon, and then you could do negative, $, comma, $, comma, semicolon, and then a dash for the zeros. And for the zeros, it doesn't have to be a dash, right? If you wanted this to be to just show the number 0, you could just leave a number sign there, or maybe you have to throw the 0 in there. Let me see. There we go. Yeah, you just put a 0 there, and then it'll show 0. You could have it say like NA. You can really have it kind of anything you want. If you want it to be, sometimes I've seen like a double dash. I know some people like doing that. You could do a double dash. So with the 0 place, you can really kind of change it up however you want. Now I'm going to explain briefly just the number versus $sign when you're doing the custom. So if you do a 0, it's going to return something in that place, regardless of if there's actually something to show. So if you do like 0.00, you'll see up here in the sample, it's going to do 0.50. So regardless, even though it's not like 0.51 or something, it will show 2 decimal places no matter what. If you want it to just show up to 2 decimal places, but only if there's 2 numbers there, you would do the $sign or the number sign, pound symbol. So then it'd be 0.5, but since there's nothing actually in that ones place there in the decimal, it's not going to show anything there. So that's kind of the main difference there. Usually you can get something kind of wonky, I think, sometimes if you were to do like 0, comma, 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 0, comma, 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 right? Like something like this where there's not actually anything in that place. So like, right, we don't have numbers in billions, but like you can see now it's just showing zeros there. Whereas what you could do is if you change these all to $signs, right, it's only going to show if there's actually something in that place. So it's not going to show a bunch of zeros and ones. So it just kind of depends. Usually I use the zeros when I'm doing decimal points because I want that to be to 2 places for everything, and then you do the numbers kind of on the front half. So that's kind of the main difference there. It's not super confusing once you've kind of done it a few times. At first it can be a little confusing of when do I use the number sign versus the 0, but you'll get the hang of it soon enough. And the last thing I'm going to go over here, and so obviously you can combine any of these things, right? So you could do a $, symbol with commas in the millions. So like here, real quick, I'll just show you that. So if you wanted a $sign, you would just throw a $sign up here, and then if you wanted a comma, you would do that. Or I guess if you wanted a decimal place, you could do 0.00 and then throw one more comma at the end, and then that's going to give you $1.00. So you can kind of combine all these different things we've shown here, and then you could even add, if you wanted, you could add text at the end. It's really kind of, so like if you wanted to denote that it was millions, right, you could do MM, and it would show that that's in millions. So you can really kind of do as you please with this. What I'll show you now is this is kind of aligning the text, and this might not make a lot of sense here at first, but it'll probably make more sense actually if we put them this way, so you can see the 3. And real quick, what we'll do is we'll just do a custom, and we're going to do number.00, and then for the negative, we're going to do we want it in brackets. So we'll do like that. And then for the 0, we just want it to be a dash. We go ahead and hit OK. And you'll see how it's not like aligned here, right? Like the decimal points aren't in the same spot. And then this is like more aligned right as well. So what you can actually do, you can come here at the end and you do underscore. And then what we want to do is we want to align, we want it to be indented with a right bracket. We can go ahead and do that, and it's going to shift everything one right bracket over in the cell. So once again, that's underscore and then the right bracket. And the way to know kind of how you want it shifted is going to be based off what you have at kind of the end here for these parts. So for example, if you had something with like a percent symbol, you could do like underscore percent, and then here you could do the same underscore percent, and then it's going to kind of shift everything. And then if you had a cell down here that was 10%, you could actually come in, you'd have to come format this and do an underscore right bracket. But then it's going to make sure like all these things are lined up. And this one actually you would also need to do underscore 0. I believe you can do it this way because the other ones have 2 decimal points like that. And now it's like everything will be more or less, and we actually probably need to add an underscore period. You can see how it can like quickly get out of hand though, right? Where you're trying to get everything to align perfectly. This is more of something for like investment banking. They want everything to be aligned perfectly on the page, and usually they have kind of a special format for that, but that's how you really get it. You do the underscore and then whatever the symbol you're trying to get at there is. So, and you can do it with the zeros placed too. So like here you could do underscore right bracket underscore percent sign, and then hit OK, and it's going to move it over. And for this one, we might actually even need to do underscore 0 underscore 0 underscore period, and then it'll align it with that ones place in the formula. So there's a little bit about custom formatting. There's a lot you can do here. You can add colors as well. So if you want something to have color, I think you can do it this way. You could do like red. You just kind of box before what color you want it, and then it'll change the color of it. So a lot of great features and functionality there. Definitely recommend you poke around with a little bit, but this is a lot of the base stuff that you can really kind of combine together to make it as you want and kind of format cells to however you're looking to have them formatted. Hope you found this useful. If you have any questions or comments at all, feel free to leave them below in the video, and I will get back to you. Thanks so much for tuning in today.